If you're looking for MUT coins to upgrade your MUT game, go to GameRusher.com for cheap and safe MUT coins. You can use my discount code HUB at the website. Use the first link in the description down below and get that upgrade to your game. What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? Skush back at it again with another Giants video. So yesterday was all about lamenting the fact that we lost that game against the Bucks, that were 1-7, that we came so close yet was so far once again, that it was like the 4th or 5th game of the season where it could have been won in the final couple of minutes of the game, but we could not close it out. It was the 4th or 5th game of the season where, you know, the point differential I think was like 4 points or less. And it was the game of the season where Daniel Jones really looked his worst, and I do mean his worst. And that made a lot of people, including myself, lose confidence in the guy. It was just all about that. Today I want to talk a little bit more about the positives, specifically about the offensive line and how they did actually a pretty good job Monday night versus the Bucks here, because this Bucks team going into that game, I said it in my preview video, one of the best defenses in the league, but that defensive front, so the outside linebackers and defensive linemen alike, are some of the most successful this year in the NFL. Going into that game, they were only 2nd in the league in terms of sacks, just 1 sack behind Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh was like at 26 or something. The Bucks were at 25, and the Giants did a pretty good job at pass protection as well as run blocking, and that is surprising considering we were missing our starting left guard, Will Hernandez. We had the backup rookie Shane Lemieux in there, and he did a pretty good job in his first game, basically starting as the Giants left guard. And you know, Matt Peart was in there as well, as was Andrew Thomas. We had 3 rookies at one point out on the field for the offensive line, and they were not bad at all. You know what I mean? That's kind of unprecedented. I can't remember the last time on any offensive line that you had 3 rookie starters out there. Now, I'm going to put an asterisk next to Matt Peart because he's still not starting fully, which I'll get into a little bit as to why that's very, very confusing and stupid, honestly, that he's not starting fully yet. But that was amazing. And so I do have an article pulled up here from Giants.com. Gonna go through it. It really covers a lot of stuff I want to talk about, and let's get into it. So it says rookie 5th round selection Shane Lemieux made his NFL starting debut in place of Will Hernandez, who was placed on the reserve/COVID-19 list last week. Lemieux was the 3rd rookie offensive lineman to start for the Giants this season. The Giants last had 3 rookie offensive linemen start at least 1 game in the same season in 2003 when David Deal, Wayne Lucier, and Jeff Roll were the linemen. Jesus, that's 17 years ago, so that tells you just how long it's been. Lemieux had a difficult matchup in his first NFL start as he faced off against former All-Pro lineman Noname Suh. Now that is something I forgot. That is something I definitely forgot. I remember that the Bucks line is just packed full of talent and production this year, but I forgot that Lemieux specifically was matched up against Noname Suh, and that just makes me even more impressed with what he did. The rookie was able to hold his own against Suh and the Bucks' talented D-line, as did his fellow rookie lineman. Matt Peart was on the field for 24 snaps in Week 8, including 14 pass blocking snaps. Peart allowed 0 pressures on those snaps and earned a 79 pass blocking grade from Pro Football Focus. Now, you guys know my stance on Pro Football Focus. I think that they're good for gathering information. What they do with that information is where they lose me, because, you know, their interpretations of it and their opinions of it are sometimes way off, but they're the best at gathering that information. And since I just spoke about Matt Peart a little bit, let me get into Matt Peart. Why isn't he starting full-time yet? Nobody knows. We, as Giants fans, we've been begging him to start full-time since we first saw him in Dallas in Week 5. It's now been 3 weeks going into 4, and he's still not the full-time starter. We're still rotating him with Cam Fleming, and that doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon, even though when he's on the field, he's clearly better than Cam Fleming. He passes the stat test and the eye test. And he's also younger, and he might be our future right tackle or left tackle. He's our future tackle either way, so just put him in there as the full-time starter. What harm could it really do to the team? Not only that, and big shout out to Kid Blue on this one, because he really first brought this idea to my attention, and it makes a lot of sense. this is really messing up the chemistry of the O-line. You're consistently and in every game switching out the right tackle and switching up, you know, the way the orientation that line is built in game. You're not allowing anybody to build any type of chemistry so that they could perform as one unit. The offensive line of a football team is the one part that needs to be performing as a well-oiled unit, or it's gonna fail. If you're continuously changing up one of the most important parts, the right tackle, it's never going to get the chemistry down. It's never going to be performing well. And I do think that's probably affecting the overall performance of the line. The consistent and, you know, the constant switching of Matt Peart and Cam Fleming at what seems to be honestly random times during the game. Not only that, this brings up an interesting question for Shane Lemieux whenever Will Hernandez comes back. I know it was just one game, and we're going to observe him again this week against Washington, so we'll see how he does. And this is going to be once again against a very other talented defensive line. But Shane Lemieux in that one game did look better than Will Hernandez in any other game I can think of this year. Baby Will comes back. Now he is, you know, the rightful starter. He comes back and he looks good, and, you know, he regains his form and whatnot. But if he doesn't, what are we doing? Is Shane Lemieux the starter? Or are we going to get rid of Kevin Zeitler, who is mentioned in this article later on? And I've said several times I don't want to get rid of Kevin Zeitler because I think he's personally our best offensive lineman, and he's been nothing but good for the Giants. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's on a super high contract, but he is on a moderately high contract, and that is what a lot of people are worrying about to free up cap space. We're either going to have to cut him or trade him somehow. Even though, once again, I don't see the point in cutting or trading your best offensive lineman, and Kevin has been nothing but good for the Giants on and off the field. So that's going to be another conundrum. But hey, it's a good one to have. You know what I'm saying? It's a good problem to have with all the bad problems that the Giants have. It's a good problem to have to say, hey, we got two good linemen at one position. Who do we keep? So the article continues. Andrew Thomas played all 74 snaps at left tackle Monday night. Shout out to Andrew Thomas, man. Thomas allowed 4 pressures on 49 pass blocking snaps and received a 65.7 pass blocking grade from PFF, the highest pass blocking grade the rookie left tackle earned this year. Like I said, man, shout out to Thomas and shout out to Mark Colombo. You guys remember last week I want to say 2 videos on Andrew Thomas. One of them was just, you know, talking about how he looked bad in the Eagles game, and then right after the Eagles game, Mark Colombo came out in his press conference and said we're gonna see a more consistent and a better Andrew Thomas for the rest of the season. And I made a video on that as well, and I said I hope you're right. I want to believe you. Let's see if it is. And so far, since that press conference, whatever Mark Colombo did, however he adjusted the way he's teaching or coaching Thomas, it worked. I mean, it's shown here in the stats, but the eye test, you look at Andrew Thomas that game, that dude looked like how I expected him to look coming out of college. He looked great. He had a couple of pancakes. He pancaked JPP once. He looked like he killed the guy with one pancake in the end zone. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm using pancakes specifically for the example because that's like the highlight of an offensive lineman, the highlight of their plays. But Andrew Thomas looked really good last night. There isn't one play I could point out from him and be like, he whiffed the block there. Ooh, he gave up this sack there. Doesn't really come to mind. But for every other game of the season, something like that does come to mind. Andrew Thomas looked great. I would say this was his best game of the season so far. But shout out to Mark Colombo. He said that we're going to see a better Andrew Thomas, and he delivered immediately. Hopefully it continues on for the rest of the season, but that's great coaching right there, you know. So that's something I'm really happy with, and hopefully he could continue to develop just like that. Article continues, as a unit, the offensive line paved the way for the Giants to rush for 101 yards and 24 carries, good for an average of 4.2 yards per carry. Veteran guard Kevin Zeitler has also been playing some of his best football in recent weeks. Over the last 3 weeks, Zeitler has allowed just 1 total pressure. His performance has earned him a pass blocking grade of 77 from PFF over the last 3 games. Like I said, Kevin Zeitler, even without me having to look at that PFF stat, I just know he's our best offensive lineman, and he's the only veteran presence on that line as well, which speaks to leadership. And these guys need somebody to look to maybe as a mentor, as a leader, as somebody that's seen a lot of things in the NFL. I really don't see the point in trading Kevin Zeitler. It's fine if Lemieux stays a backup, or it's fine if he starts over Will, whatever the case is, but I would say try and keep Zeitler at least for the duration of his contract. There's no point in trading him, in my opinion. Keep him there. He's your best lineman as of right now. That's all I really got to say on that. But that's kind of the end of the article on the offensive line side. They go on to talk about other players that were kind of PFF standouts. But I just wanted to focus on the offensive line because against this Bucs team, we performed really good, and this was probably the best showing from them. You know what I mean? So let me know what you guys think. Put your comments down below, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch y'all in the next one.